Welcome, everyone, to the Puff Drink Talk podcast. Conrad here.
Hilton.
George.
And Jonathan.
And Jonathan, our special
Welcome,
guest today.
Look at that.
So,
How y'all doing?
I was going to say before the podcast, has anyone told you that you kind of remind you
Of Matthew, what the hell?
Matt Damon?
Matt Damon.
Yeah, Matt Damon and Ron White.
No, I've never heard Ron White.
You got the voice of Ron White and the laugh. So.
Yeah, no, everybody, in the last 2 years, for some reason, I probably had 25 people tell me Matt Damon, and my wife and I both are like, absolutely not.
Really?
Like, I have no idea what you're talking about. But I grew out my hair. My head was shaved before, not like to a 1, and I had no facial hair.
Yeah.
And then as soon as I grew out my hair and then grew the facial hair, everybody says it has something to do with my dimples and my smile.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, probably at least 25 people in the last couple of years. It's been really annoying because I don't see it at all.
Hey, take it as a compliment.
I don't see that.
I'd be like, yeah.
Well, so what I think it is the Matt Damon from Team America. That's what I think that everyone's talking about. I don't think this. I don't think this is Bourne. You know,
Yeah.
I don't think this is Jason Bourne. Matt Damon.
Scoot.
No.
It's a Scoot.
Yeah, no, I don't think that's what it is. I don't think that's what it is at all.
It's not Bourne. It's not Matt Damon Bourne. The Bourne character, right?
Yeah.
I got it.
Yeah, no, it's exactly right.
Yeah. Jason Bourne.
Yeah, you need to. I think you need to specify that when
think
someone
you're-
says like I look like Matt Damon. Be like, which one?
Which
Yeah,
one?
No, you say-
that's absolutely
You say
correct.
Jason Bourne, right?
Yeah,
Jason Bourne, Matt Damon, right? just
absolutely,
say.
absolutely right. Yeah, no,
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah, you're thinking too low of yourself. No, you have to get yourself up there. I mean, you don't need that.
Actually, of all things, I just watched a Matt Damon movie. It was on Netflix called Rip with Matt Damon, Ben Affleck, and some other actors where they're down in Miami and they go into a drug house, a rip house, and they find all of this cash and then all of the drug dealers. But it was like an inside job with the cops.
Is it a new movie?
Yeah, and it was actually
They're
pretty
big
cool.
Pals, right? Like, they're very close friends, Ben Affleck and
And Matt
Oh, yeah.
Damon,
yeah.
yeah.
It's just a film
absolutely.
yeah.
So it was pretty cool, but I was looking at you and I'm like, yeah, hell yeah. So take that, man.
Yeah,
It'd
yeah,
be like,
no,
the cop from Rip, like going into houses stealing cash, or ended up being a good guy,
Yeah.
or a bad guy. I don't want to ruin. the
Oh,
movie.
yeah. I do know the movie you're talking about.
yeah. Okay.
Yeah. No, it is. It's actually a good movie too.
It was a good
It is a
movie,
good movie.
yeah.
It is a good movie. So no, I walked into a casino one time, and right when I walked in, I made a joke to the security person. And I started laughing, and the lady on the other side of the thing was like, "You look like Matt Damon," and I had no idea who this lady was, and I was like, "Oh my god!" So
You're like, if Matt Damon gets free
That's
drinks,
why-
then hell
that's
yeah.
why-
well, and then my wife is like, "I wish,"
Yeah.
you know, and she's like, "No, you don't, no, you
That's
don't."
why your wife like no, he doesn't. I see.
All right, I just had to get that out of the way to start the podcast.
Yeah.
Well, anyways, Jonathan, tell us a little bit about yourself. What company you run? What do you do? Yeah.
So I own and operate with a couple partners One Life Management. So we do multifamily apartment management, and we started that a couple years ago. We started purchasing apartments through syndications in 2022, and so we already do asset management for that. And so ironically, the apartments that we own are actually third-party managed by other property management companies because they're not near us. They're Corpus Christi, Wichita, and Davenport, Iowa. And so we have third-party managers for those properties. But so the apartments that we manage are here in Austin. And then I also own and operate ICS Quality Homes, which is a residential and light commercial remodeling company. I've had that for 25 years. I started when I was 20.
Oh, that's awesome. And what kind of when you say light remodeling, what does that mean?
In commercial space, we do light remodeling. So meaning that if somebody wants cosmetic upgrades or adjustments, repairs, things like that, we'll do them. In residential, we'll do everything. So
Gotcha.
Yeah, commercial is like, for example, let's say if I'm moving into this place and it's like, hey, I need to make these a flooring store.
yeah.
And then they come in and then they
Take
put
down a
walls,
wall,
they take
yeah,
down walls.
okay,
Yeah.
understood.
Great showroom area and stuff. Like
Yeah, but we won't do like industrial or new builds, steel fabrication, stuff like that. We don't do that.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah, and actually, we don't work with aluminum or metal stud. So, like, if somebody wants to take down or put up walls or whatever, we do wood construction. So,
Gotcha. Okay. Cool. Right on.
yeah.
I wish my walls here were with wood.
Yeah.
They're aluminum, and then I'm always afraid of having anything attached to these walls. And even though I have the walls covered with panels and things, but I'm always afraid because it's aluminum and it's so thin. You bend it. You can go from the top.
Interestingly enough, it's actually more structural. It moves more, but it's more structural.
Yeah, but
it holds more weight.
Yeah, but it for me, I feel like it doesn't.
Yeah, because
you touch it and then it goes like that.
Yeah.
Hey, this is like don't know those thin gums that people like chewing on.
Yeah,
it feels like that. It was like flumpy. And
yeah,
stuff,
no, it's the components of how things go together, right? Like so. A lot of people are, when you frame a wall, they'll go over and they shake it and they're like, "This wall won't support anything." And you're like, "Just hang on." And you go hang one sheet of sheetrock on it. That also, if they felt the sheetrock, right, it moves and it can bow and whatever you put them together, and you have a wall that's super strong. So it's that kind of thing, right? You have the aluminum studs, but then you also have the sheetrock, and you have to put the two together.
Yeah. It's funny you saying that because when we did the floor for the Pro Sale house, the floor was bouncy, and then I asked the homeowner because he had like a guy doing the structure for him, like just because it was like 24 on center, and then I told him like to do 12 on center, like just add actually studs in here to make it more firm. So what he did, the other contractor, instead of kind of putting like in halfway through, they just doubled.
Yeah.
So it still became a 24, but they had like a 3 inches in
right.
two 2x4s together. So it became like a 21 on center or something like that.
Yeah.
22 on center. And then I was like, well, and then it was still bouncing. It would go like bounce, and then so we had to create a structure on the top to form it up to put the wood floors.
Yeah.
And then now you go in there and then nothing. So I had to solve the problem for the guy, but hey, that's not what we want to do.
Well, islands and like peninsula walls, right? Like when they're framed, you can go over and you could just barely kick it, and that thing's gonna fall over, and you're like, what the heck? But you put sheetrock on it, go over and try to move it after that. Good luck. So it's the cohesive unit. It's not the individual material.
And what got you into remodeling, residential and commercial?
So I was an electrician by trade, but I'm pretty ADD and I don't like doing singular things. And so I started my remodeling company at the same time that I was an electrician. So I was doing remodeling. I actually was an electrician full-time. I worked at Home Depot full-time, and I did my remodeling
Jesus Christ.
For 7 years. So I was electrician for 4, but I would rotate the jobs because I was trying to make sure that I learned everything. So I worked for a remodeler. I was an electrician by trade, but I worked for a plumber for about 6 months, a sheetrock company for 3, framing company for months, right? Framing company for 2. I worked with a roofer for a year and a half. So I went through and wanted to make sure I knew all those things because I didn't want my guys to bullshit me.
Right.
So, I just love I love having a finished product. And I knew I wanted to do real estate investing.
Yeah.
And so I was like, if I can learn remodeling, a lot of people will say, can you build a house? And I'm like, building a house is easy. Are you kidding me? Like, I control every step. In remodeling, I remember getting a call one time from this guy, and he goes, he said, hey, one of your guys just called me, and there's a problem at our bathroom remodel in Lakeway. I said, all right, let me give him a call. So I called, and I said, hey, what's going on? He's like, well, we ripped out the bathtub. And I said, yeah. He goes, there's another bathtub. And I was like, what are you talking about? And so there was a sunken in-ground bathtub that was poured in with the concrete. And some person at some point in time just slid a steel bathtub over top of this thing. And so, I called the guy back and I said, what do you want to do? And he was like, what are the options? And I said, either you now use that bathtub or we have to, fill that all in, with concrete and rebar and everything else. And he was like, how much is that going to cost me? $2,500. And so, in remodeling, you never know what you're going to find.
Yeah.
So
that's why you have to have like a little clause on your contract for unforeseen things, because I saw one TV show once in UK that they started taking up the floor. They found another floor. They found 7 floors. 7.
I've found 4. I have never found 7, but I have found 4.
Man,
but UK is an old.
But I'll tell you, in London, it doesn't surprise me because I lived there for 5 months, 15 days, 15 hours, and 13 minutes. So it's a whole story about that. But I believe that. Yeah, man, some parts of London, they remodeled like 5 times, 6 times, the properties.
Yeah. Well, we're young here, right? Austin
yeah.
is so young. My dad's side of the family is New Jersey. My mom's side is Pennsylvania. And so my uncles and aunts up there or whatever, they'll call me and be like, hey, we're doing this remodel, and but we ripped up this floor, and there's 37 layers below this floor.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, yeah, your house was built in 1898. Like, people have made changes since then. So, and usually, right, it's like something rotted. So then they covered it with something else. The next person didn't like that floor. They covered it with something else. That one rotted. So then they had to fix it, and they covered that with something else, So we find in downtown Austin, too, if we're working in 04, 05, central Austin, we'll typically 3 or 4 floors deep for sure.
Yeah, there was one person, I don't remember who it was, like they found a floor under the floor that they took out. It's like, can we do anything in here? Like, just refinish these floors? Yes, but there was like a patch that was done that was not the floor. It was just like subfloor, like plywood.
Right.
OSB. And then it was like, well, we're going to have to do new floors on that area there, to be able to use everything. And I'm not sure if it would cost more or less. I would have to go and assess. And then it would cost more money to patch.
Yep.
And then do a sand and finish job on everything than just like going with another floor.
But it's still a better floor.
Well, at least it becomes a structure in there because it's a solid piece of wood, right? And it's hardwood because it's oak.
Yeah.
So, and then we went with an engineered floors on top.
Yeah. It just depends on what look they want, right?
Yeah.
So
a lot of people nowadays just go for the looks. You know how it is. It's
Yeah.
like, hey, I don't care how it's done. I just want it to look good. And it's like, Jesus.
Well, do y'all know what knob and tube wiring is?
No.
No.
So they used to, what they did was they would actually build a double wall in a cavity around the inside the room. So in downtown Austin, there's still quite a few that have knob and tube wiring original. Most of it's inactive, but sometimes you find it. And so what they did is they had an exterior wall that was literally just tongue and groove siding, just stacked like this. That was the structure. There was no framing. So so you didn't lose 3.5 inches. You just had this 3/4 inch stacked up thing that was just put together like Legos. And then there was a cavity that was typically 12 to 16 inches deep, and then they would build a wall that they would frame, and they'd plaster on top of that, right? And so in between that, they'd run the wires. It's called knob and tube. So there's a porcelain tube. So they drill a hole in the top framing, and drill a hole maybe through the floor if it's a pier and beam house, and they'd run this tube down, and then you have 2 wires that have no insulation on them that go through the tube, and so it's called knob and tube. And so the knob is actually where the wires would make the turn, or the finish connection are on this little rubber grommet that has 2 metal points, and so it would connect to that. And so I remember I was working with my supervisor when I was an electrician. We go into this downtown Austin house, and neither one of us ever knew, had ever heard of knob and tube wiring, and but we knew this crawl space was there, walk space, whatever you want to call it. And so Lance turns sideways, and he starts walking through this thing, and he sees these wires, and he just thinks that they're like cable or something. He leans into it, and it's live. And I'm standing on the other side of this wall, right? I can't see him, and I just start hearing, "Oh God! What?" And when he comes out of the thing, right, he's got this burn mark down his arm,
shit.
and so we were like, "What the heck?" So yeah, there were like 2 live circuits of this old. We literally couldn't even find out where they tied to. They weren't in the panel. We had no idea what was keeping them hot, and so we just found where they came in from. And just cut them live and capped them off and put them in a box. There was nothing else we could do with it. But man, you want to talk about dangerous? Like, just nothing, that's there to protect it at all. It's just, air gap. So rats or whatever bite it. It's a mess. So.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's.
Start getting into property management with this guy again.
Yeah, I want to hear property management. Let's get into something about that.
But hold on, Jonathan you have a competition coming up in May, right?
Yeah, May
Talk
16th.
A little bit about that.
So I'm on the board for the John Reynolds Memorial Foundation. So a buddy of mine a few years ago passed away. He had cancer. It was really aggressive, short timeline. And he was actually had a barbecue trailer in Lockhart, and he also did barbecue competitions a lot. But he would donate. He would go cook at like schools, for teachers and students. He loved like firefighters and police, and any of that, and would go to those different places and cook for them and deliver food to them. And so when he passed away, his brother Rowdy, there were 4 siblings. Rowdy, John, David, and Donna. And so his brother Rowdy and David and Donna got together and said, hey, I think we should make this foundation in John's name. And, let's do barbecue competitions for people that want to learn to cook and or barbecue, different things. And then Rowdy passed away 76 days later, had a heart attack. And so they had just started kind of getting that foundation off the ground. And I've known these guys for 30 years. And so they had started up this foundation, and David reached out to me and said, hey man, we've got this going, would you mind coming over and sitting with the board and helping us through some of the business discussions and things like that. And so I said, yeah, so we joined the board, and it's a great organization. We're still trying to get our feet under us of exactly, being a little bit more organized of exactly who we want to help, right? Because we want to help everybody. So, but yeah,
try this coffee before.
We have
It's different.
We have a May 16th competition, and then we have one in December. We don't have that date yet, but so we do 2 every year, and then we do a few other smaller ones. So
yeah, I'll be a sponsor on that one. I haven't paid the sponsorship yet, but I have to get on it and then do it. But yeah,
it's good. It's smooth.
I'm gonna be there.
It's kind of like got a chocolatey.
Yeah, this is
into it.
It's
this is
almost
Africa. This is the Ethiopian.
Oh, okay.
It's almost like a tea.
Yeah. It is. It is. I'm just gonna put this in because I like this stuff.
Oh yeah. Go ahead.
But otherwise,
Yeah,
I actually
I
could,
just wanted to try without it.
I actually
Yeah.
could drink that coffee straight.
It has the hints.
Yeah.
Of, you can tell. You don't know exactly where it is, but you can tell it's chocolatey. It's a kind of a nutty.
Yeah.
You go to that, to that route.
Yeah, for sure. But anyway, so the May 16th. So we currently have 18 vendors that are going. It's in Rockney, Texas, which is kind of Lockhart. Is here. Bastrop is here. Rockney is here. So it's about the same distance from Austin as Lockhart is. But we have 18 vendors currently signed up. I think we have 12 or 14 sponsors, and I think we have 16 competition teams currently signed up. So that's a pretty dang good turnout. Usually our December, we've only been doing it for a couple of years, right? So our December event, I think last year we had 25 competition teams. We didn't run any vendors last year in December. And then we had, I think, 15 sponsors. So yeah, it's a great event. It's a lot of fun. This one, we're actually doing a kids grilled cheese competition. So that'll be cool. Man, some of the stuff these kids come up with is amazing when we go to other events. So
Okay, cool.
Yep. So May 16th, Rockney, Texas.
Nothing better than some grilled cheese like on a fire.
Oh,
with
dude.
that smoke flavor, just getting into that cheese, dude.
Especially if they're smart enough to actually put cheese on the pan first,
Yeah.
and then set the grilled cheese into that cheese,
Dude.
and have cheese coating on the outside of the same. Oh man, it's killer.
Yeah.
I'm a big time foodie, right?
Yeah,
So-
yeah.
I was a chef for 3 years.
So what kind of, traditional barbecue style, barbecue competition, brisket, beef ribs, short ribs?
Yeah, so
Sausages.
you have open meat. You can turn in anything you want. Some people do steak. Some people may turn in a sandwich of some kind. Most of the time it's something on a smoker, but it actually even could be on a grill pit that they bring with them. And then so there's open meat. There's typically margaritas. I don't think that we're doing margaritas in May, but we are doing Bloody Marys. So there's Bloody Mary. There's open meat. The big three are ribs, brisket, and chicken. Mm-hmm. So you sign up for all three or not at all. There's not an individual. You can't sign up for each one individually. It's pretty standard at competitions. And then, like I said, the kids grilled cheese competition. And sometimes you'll have desserts. Sometimes you'll have margaritas or other types of drinks.
Yeah.
So, yeah, you could do it however you want to, right? But the main thing is that if it's sanctioned, everything has to be beans and chili also. If it's sanctioned, there are rules like you can't do anything away from the competition, right? So you can't prep at your house. Like you have to do it
You
there.
have to do it, yeah.
It's fun and it is a shitload of work.
But also they coming very early, like the day before. kind of thing. Like
Yeah.
they
We're
spend the
there
night.
like Friday at noon until Saturday at like 5, and we probably sleep for an hour.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's a
It's
lot
a
of
whole
work.
day thing.
Yeah. It's a whole 2-day thing.
And about how many people do you expect to show up for these events or in the past?
There's usually about 100 people.
Okay.
120.
Yeah, that's a good amount.
Yeah. Yeah, if you go to some of the bigger ones, which obviously we want ours to keep growing, right? So if we go to some of the bigger ones, you may have 350 people there.
Yeah. Oh, that's awesome. That's
Yeah.
really cool.
Yep.
That's nice.
Yeah. When, I'm sorry. Can you say the dates again? When this is happening?
May 16th, 2026.
Gotcha. Cool.
John Reynolds Memorial Foundation.
Nice.
You can go to johnreynoldsmemorialfoundation.com.
I will add the event on our calendar so that people can subscribe to the calendar, and it's going to populate for them.
Sure.
So go to puffdrinktalk.com, go on the calendar, and that should be there May 16th. I don't know.
Yeah,
I'll put a
I'd like to
flyer
show
out
up.
there.
Yeah, that'd
And
be
all
cool.
the teams that go are super cool. So even if you want to go because you're just interested in barbecuing and you don't have any idea what you're doing, or maybe you started barbecuing and you don't have any idea what you're doing, everybody's really helpful. So you can walk up and just say, hey, do you mind if I just kind of hang out and just watch you a little bit and ask some questions here? And everybody loves to help each other, help people out. So
That's the coolest thing.
it's great. It's a really good community.
We all interested in going, right? Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
I am.
yeah,
That's why I'm
that's-
asking
yeah,
again.
yeah.
Yeah.
I'm a sponsor, so I'll be there.
Put it in the group there and let us know.
Yeah, and
help
there's
people,
what's it called? Silent auction items. We do Roomba pool. So you take a Roomba and you set it in the middle of a pool table and you surround all the balls around it, and everybody puts in $5 and you bet on it. You pick a ball and you bet on. Man, you want to talk about everybody screaming? You might as well be at a football game. It's insane. Everybody, no, because the Roomba will be going toward your ball and you're like yes, and then it just stops and turns around. And then they get half the pot, right? So whoever wins gets half the pot and the other half goes to the foundation. So. Yeah, no, it's a lot of fun. So I usually donate like 2-3 nights at my house down at Rockport, and then my fishing guide down there. The last couple times was donated fishing trip.
Bring cash.
Oh shit.
Have you seen the chicken shit bingo?
I like that.
I've heard of it. I haven't seen it.
Oh, it's so fun. I took Alice and Lily once, and Lily actually won $102.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, she invested. She bet $2, and then she won $104.
There you go.
Yeah, so- but yeah.
Maybe
Well, let's wrap
remove-
this episode,
maybe
and then
remove the
we're gonna
ashes.
have
Remove
Jonathan
the-
on future episodes.
Yeah, 'cause-
so
yeah,
keep
'cause
an
it's
eye
gonna
on it
burn
when
the
it
ash.
releases,
There we
and he's gonna bring some scary stories about property management.
Fun adventure stories. But thank you very much for joining us today
Haunted
on the Puff Drink Talk podcast. We'll see you all next time. Have a great day.
Appreciate it. Thanks, guys.
Yeah, subscribe, comment, and share with your friends.